Big up to everyone, lovely family, lovely friends out there, whatever you're watching Awini Unity platform from. Thank you so much, and we do really appreciate your time for always staying here with us at Awini Unity platform. And happy Saturday to you as well, whatever part you may be watching me from, particularly if you are watching me from Africa, any part of Africa, greeting to you and happy Saturday to you once again. This video will have a lot to share with you right here on this platform. We're going to be talking about finally, now we know Thomas Partey and Hakimi, who is going finals. We're going to be talking about something a little bit about that in the UEFA Champions League finals now, and we are going to be talking about the UEFA Champions League semi-finals, like you already know, simply because our African brothers Thomas Partey and Hakimi was in the semi-finals. Hakimi make it to the finals. We're going to be talking about it a little bit. We're going to be talking about the Under-20 Cup of Nations that is ongoing. It is set now. Some of the teams, or most of the teams, are going to play the quarterfinals on Monday. We're going to be giving you the details on that. You know, Ghana, Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago, and Jamaica have a tournament that called U20 Cup in this month, May, in London. We're going to be giving you update about that one as well. It is a good news for Congolese football. We're going to be telling you what is good news. Senegalese have to be worried because Congolese have some players that set to play for them for Congo national team. We're going to be telling you what players are really going to play for Congolese national team. Senegal have to be worried. Why Senegal have to be worried? Why? Because Senegal is going to play their World Cup qualifiers against Congo. So Congo to have those players in their team is going to be very tight. This is some of the things we're going to be sharing with you right here on this platform. So please, if today is your first time and maybe you just cross this platform and probably you may not know what this platform always talking about, just to remind you for that very quick, this platform talk about only African football, African national teams, African club football, and African players all over the world. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and let us grow together as a one family, whatever part you may be watching me from. So we are driving quick. We're going to be starting from the Champions League. You know, the semi-final, we talk about a lot of things. Partey and what you call Partey and Hakimi. Let's look that before we come to the other games. Okay. Is okay. Now let's Thomas Partey, Hakimi. Now let's go to Champions League. If now this is the finals, you can see it on your screen. Now this is the finals. Okay, we're coming to the finals. Going to be taking place this month. Before the finals, let's talk about the game. If you guys remember, I spoke about the game against Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal, about something a little bit that if people are just tipping Arsenal that they are favored simply because they beat Real Madrid, you may get it wrong, you may get it right. Why? Get the video a little bit, then I share something with you once again. And also the Champions League. Now, let's look at something here. If you are basing Arsenal performance by beating Real Madrid home and away and thinking that for that reason Arsenal going to beat Paris Saint-Germain, maybe you may get it wrong. Why? When you look at Real Madrid this season, okay, when you look at Real Madrid this season, Real Madrid, before coming to Arsenal game, before going to play the game against Arsenal in North London in England, Real Madrid already struggling in this season. Real Madrid lost to Valencia in the Spanish La Liga, whereby Valencia is struggling for relegation. Real Madrid lost to them 2-1 at home in Santiago Bernabeu. So that should tell you that Real Madrid do not have its best this season. So if you want to base on Arsenal beating Real Madrid and maybe believing that, I do not really want to take much of your time. So for that reason, if you want to watch the last video I did before this game, Arsenal this game, and you can go and watch the video and listen to some of the analysis I make about the game, that Arsenal is not actually favorite, and the 4 teams that remaining that time, I said it that everyone have the chance to win it. Now, when you look at why I'm talking about the Champions League, like I said, I'm talking about the Champions League semi-finals, matches that they played before, and the finals I'm going to be talking about is because our African brother Thomas Partey and Hakimi. So I said it that when you look at Arsenal performance against Real Madrid, which Arsenal even won. Arsenal won against Real Madrid. Okay, Arsenal won against Real Madrid 2-1 away. Home as well, Arsenal won that game. Arsenal won that game against Real Madrid at home. So on that game, the return match Arsenal won against Real Madrid in Santiago Bernabeu, I said it that yes, Arsenal are beating the big team, but Arsenal do not meet a big team in this year Champions League yet. Why? Because when you look at Real Madrid performance this season, they do not get their things right. So a lot of teams are beating Real Madrid. So if you went to Santiago Bernabeu to beat Real Madrid team, we all know this season, that doesn't make you like you can beat every team in the Champions League if you guys watch that video. So now, I'm not going to take my time on this Champions League. I'll be drawing your attention. Now, Thomas Partey and Hakimi, we know who in the finals. Hakimi with his Paris Saint-Germain, they beat Arsenal home and away. They went to North London to beat Arsenal by 1-0. Now, we all was talking about Thomas Partey wasn't in the game, but the return match, Thomas Partey was in the game. They beat them again. They beat Arsenal again, 2-1. So now they qualify to the finals. And Hakimi, congratulations to Hakimi. This is the finals, the UEFA League Champions League finals. Is going to be taking place in Bayern Munich. Yes, it's going to be taking place in Munich, I think in Germany. And one history a lot of people do not know, that is a 4 Champions League that play in Germany. And that 4 Champions League finals that took place in Germany for over the years, all the Champions League always won. There is always a history. There is always a history. A lack of Chelsea, a lot of teams, you can see it on your screen. So anytime the Champions League is playing in Germany, you will get a history. You will get a team who never win the Champions League coming to win the Champions League for the first time. And this, it happened for 4 times in Germany. If they are playing the Champions League finals in Germany, there is always a team that never won never win the Champions League will always win it when they take the Champions League finals to Germany. So I will not be surprised that this time around, history going to repeat himself, that a Champions League is going to be favored. PSG, they have never win the Champions League. With Germany, they have history of that. Any club that play against another club that won the Champions League before, Inter Milan, I think they won the Champions League 3 times. Paris Saint-Germain, they have never win the Champions League. I'm not going to be surprised that history is going to repeat himself, that Paris Saint-Germain are going to be winning the Champions League in Germany for the first time in their history. And that's going to be 31st this month, May 8 p.m. It depends the location you may be watching me from. So congratulations to Hakimi. My full support is going to Hakimi and Paris Saint-Germain. So my brothers, Africans, let's give all our support to Hakimi to win the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain. That is it. So now let's move to different. Now, what player I told you that is going to be playing again, going to be playing for what do you call Congo is around Wan-Bissaka or Wan-Bissaka, who plays football in West Ham United. He make it clear and announced they finished everything. I think the World Cup qualifiers going to be September, if I get it right. I think it's going to be September, the World Cup qualifiers. He's going to be playing for Congo. And the thing is that the good news for Congolese is that let's go to Congo. Congo going to be playing their World Cup against DR Congo. They're going to be playing the World Cup against what do you call? I think Senegal. Let me get that clear. Okay. DR Congo, they will play against Senegal. And when you look at the games they play so far, they won the 4 games or 3 games they play so far. Congo, they won their game, a lot of games. Their last game they played in the World Cup qualifiers, that last 2 games was against South Sudan. They won at home against South Sudan. Okay, against South Sudan. Then they also won the second game against Mauritania away. So they have a great chance on that. So it is a good news for Congolese football. Wan-Bissaka going to be playing for Congo at the World Cup qualifiers. That is the reason why I said that Senegal have to be worried, because that is also another player. But this video, if I want to talk about all these players, it's going to be a long ride here. There's also some few players, Ghana, Nigeria. I will be making video about that. Okay, so subscribe to the platform. Now, that is a good news from Congo. Now, let's check the under 20. Okay, let's talk about under 20 games. Let's talk about the under 20 games. Then we'll come to yesterday. Now, Ghana under 20. If you look at Ghana under 20 in the tournament so far, Ghana's kick up the tournament with DR Congo. That game ended 1-1. Ghana's second game was against the defending champion Senegal, who play a lot of games without losing. Ghana break that from Senegal, beating the defending champion by 1-0. A good start for Ghana national under 20 team. And Ghana last was against Central African Republic. Ghana beat them by 1-0, and Ghana topping the group 7 points. Okay, followed by Senegal and Congo. So they qualify. And I was checking it. You can see it on your screen. When you look at the quarterfinals matches, Nigeria, Senegal, and Morocco, Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone also have a fine form. Sierra Leone, they also started the game very well. Sierra Leone, they play against, I think they beat even Egypt. Okay, they beat Egypt. They beat Egypt by 4-1. Okay, so that should tell you that the Sierra Leone team very, very tough, and they also beat Sierra Leone. They beat Tanzania as well. They beat Tanzania. they played draw with Zambia. So Sierra Leone also qualified with 7 points. So they also going to be very, very tough. Okay, they're going to be very, very tough against Morocco. Okay, if you look at the performance they perform against Egypt, my goodness. So Ghana going to be playing against Egypt. When you look at Egypt is struggling. But you know, Egypt yesterday, is it not yesterday? If I get it right, yesterday Friday. Yes, yesterday Friday. Egypt struggled to beat Tanzania by 1-0. But hey, in football, there are some teams from the group stage, they will not play very well. But when they come to maybe whatever tournament, quarterfinals, semi-finals, now they get their things right. So they're going to be playing against Ghana. Ghana start the tournament very well. If Ghana able to keep like that, it's going to be tough for Egypt. Okay, it's going to be tough for Egypt for that. And I don't know what I'm getting right here. Okay, you can see it on the screen. What I'm getting right here, all the matches, the matches going to play, I think 3 matches. All the matches going to play, no, not 3. It's 4. Nigeria against Senegal, that is the quarterfinals. Morocco against Sierra Leone, and Ghana against Egypt. South Africa against DR Congo. All the matches going to play Monday. That is what I'm getting here. You can see it on your screen. Where I feel like, why all the matches should take place in Monday? Okay, let's say what you can see. Nigeria going to play against the Senegal, and that's going to be 1 p.m. Depend whatever you may be watching me from. Let's say West African time, Nigeria time 1 p.m., Ghana time 12 p.m. So, and Cote d'Ivoire time 12 p.m. Nigeria going to play against Senegal, and later evening, Morocco going to play against Sierra Leone. Ghana time 3, then Nigeria time 4. Burkina Faso, Benin, Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, all those countries use the same time. So it's going to be 3 p.m. Ghana match against Egypt as well. And the last match on Monday going to be South Africa and DR Congo. Okay, so I feel like they should have to make business as well. They should have played 2 games on Monday. So maybe one match will play around 4. Not just about people to have that is business. Football is a business, so people can go to stadium. Monday is working days, so they should have maybe play one match 4 p.m. or 5, then 7. Then you play another match, and Tuesday you play 2 matches. One match 5 o'clock, another match 7 o'clock. At that time, a lot of workers close from work. But if you put all these matches together in one day, well, I don't know how it is. So just to let you know for that, you can see it on your screen, the quarterfinals and the U20 Cup of Nations. Now, let's go to, Ghana and Nigeria going to be playing tournament that called U20 Cup on this month, and that's going to be taking place in London. And that's going to be not just only Ghana, it is a 4-nation tournament. Name U20 Cup. Okay, name U20 Cup. That is Tinigo or Tiniga in Tobago, or sometime the name. Let me get the teams right here. Okay, so Jamaica going to be part, Nigeria going to be there, Ghana going to be there. So when you look at the games, Jamaica will play against Trinidad and Tobago. That's going to be 16th. That's going to be 16th. 26 this month in England. And the second game, the Ghana against Nigeria, that's going to be 27, and I think the finals is 29th or 30th. Okay, so now when you look at both teams so far, the 4-4 matches they play, 4-4 matches they play. This is okay, let me say their last 2 games that they play, their last 2 games. So when you look at the last 2 games, Ghana World Cup qualifiers, Ghana beat Chad. You can see Ghana beat Chad by 5-0. And Ghana's second game was against Madagascar. That was also Ghana went away to beat Madagascar by 3-0. Now, when you come to Nigeria, also last 2 games, Nigeria beat Rwanda away by 2-0 in the World Cup qualifiers. Then Nigeria play home against Zimbabwe. Shocking result. Nigeria lost that game 1-1. Now, when you go back to Jamaica as well, okay, when you go back, let's go back to Jamaica. Okay, Jamaica also last 2 games. You can see some of these teams they are pronouncing is somehow for me. I don't even know this country like that. Not to respect the country, but I do not really know them. So you can see it on your screen, I beg. So Jamaica played draw with them away. And home, Jamaica won 3-0. I didn't know what tournament was that. I must be honest with you. That is Jamaica last 2 games. Their game is similar like Nigeria. They play 2, drawing 1, winning 1. Nigeria also played 2, their last game, winning 1, drawing 1. Ghana played 2, last game. Ghana won all their 2 games. Now let's go to Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. There was there we go. Okay, they also play Trinidad and Tobago. They also play 2 games, won 2 games. Okay, they play against Cuba. I don't know, is it Cuba is like that? Cuba? Okay, Cuba. They play against Cuba and they won that game 2-1 away. They play home. They won that game against Cuba again 4-0. So meaning this 4-nation tournament and they call U20 Cup, Nigeria, Ghana is the organize this tournament. So Ghana, Nigeria, and Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica. Ghana and Trinidad and Tobago have a good record, 2 games, 2 win. Nigeria and Jamaica also 2 games, 1-1 win, 1-1 draw. So that is how it is. So get to remind you that the games is going to be this month, 26 and 27. Okay, 26 and 27. What those games going to be taking place. And you know, when it comes to Ghana and Nigeria, it is not about whether friendly match, whether there is a cap on it, whether there is no cap. When it comes to Ghana and Nigeria, because of the bragging right, everybody want to win. So that is how it is. We're going to leave you right here. We have a lot to share with you on this platform. So whatever part you may be watching us from, we do really appreciate your time. And stay blessed. Enjoy your Saturday and one love.